So I've been playing Enfield pretty much non-stop since launch. And yeah, I messed up a lot, like embarrassingly. And after scrolling through Reddit and Discord for the last few weeks, turns out most of you are making the exact same mistakes I did. And some of these will cost you weeks of progress if nobody tells you. So let's fix that. Look, Enfield dumps like 15 different systems on you in the first couple hours. Combat, team building, gear, this whole factory thing, and the tutorial explains maybe a third of it. So these aren't like obscure optimization tips. These are the oh god, I wasted 3 days doing this wrong kind of mistakes. Doesn't matter if you're coming from Arknights. And I see this all the time. People level up every operator they pull until you get wow, you get this cool new character, and then you want to see what they do. You throw some mats at it, and then you kind of like pull another one, and you repeat this process over and over again. Early game resources are brutal in Enfield. They don't really come around that often, so you definitely want to focus on 4 characters for one team before kind of like spreading your resources thin. So you would definitely want to do like a team of like one DPS, one secondary DPS, support, or tank, along those lines. If you're not too sure, Ardelia works in any team as a healer, and she'll help you plow through the early games very well. Okay, that one's pretty common. Now this next one is a pretty big one. If you could fix one thing from this video, make it this. So the AIC, which is the automated industry complex or the factory, um, a lot of people look at this system and are like, okay, I'll deal with this later, but don't do that. This is essentially passive income. So missing a day means you're missing a lot of bills. So if you're really lazy, you can just go to the simulation, learn the blueprints from these rewards, and then you just go to the blueprints and just try to lay them out as soon as possible. If not, then you would have to just look for other people's shared blueprints and look for the early game blueprints that can help you kind of grind out this passive income. All right, so your resources are now focused, your factory is now making the passive income. Now let's talk about why combat probably feels kind of off for you. Combat is not as hard as it seems, but it does take some time to get used to, and it's not about jamming every button you see. Every time you see a combo E, you don't just pop it right away. In most cases, it's usually about applying debuff and then applying a debuff on top of that debuff, or even converting that debuff to a different, stronger type of debuff, and then using a support skill to amp up your main DPS's damage before dishing out the ultimate. All at the same time, you also have to manage your SP and doing the combat mechanic, such as staggering, dodging skills, and even preventing special attacks when the red circle shows up. That was a game changer for me. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Banners. Featured operators. This one is a bit more for free-to-play players, not really for whales, as there's no limit for a whale except for how fat their wallet is. So let's keep this short. Soft pity kicks in at 65 pulls. You're guaranteed a 6-star at 80, which is a 50-50 coin flip, and then you're guaranteed the featured operator at 120. So pretty much don't pull unless you have 120 pulls, or you're using the 5 free that you get every featured banner. Alright, this next one is more of like a reminder. It's stupid simple. But it's make sure to set up your zip line. It will save you a lot of time over the long run. Don't forget to mine the ores and pick up the skill up mats. I didn't really set up zip lines everywhere, just to the places that I need to go every week, and that's about it. Last but not least, let's talk about equipment here. We would focus on primary stats for each operator and equipment sets. Wouldn't say to worry too much about equipment until you're like level 50. and then you can maybe make a few equipments over time, and then level 70 is when you start to actually start carrying and you unlock more features. Then honestly, this really depends on your playstyle, as certain characters can equip support set or secondary DPS set. Like for example, here in Pog, I gave him the OT gain efficiency set, which isn't that great for damage, but for team wise, it's amazing. This comp that I'm showing is a little bit flawed. I'm using Ardelia and giving a support set to Pog. Just waiting to get Leafong so that I can replace Ardelia in the future. Don't forget to do your dailies, weekly routine, and events. Some of the events are coming to an end soon, so get to it. And then don't forget to check out the exclamation point to keep up to date with the events. Happy Lunar New Year, everyone. If any of these helped, a like would mean a lot. Genuinely, it helps other new players find this. I'm also working on a new guide soon, and also will be posting my Agni run of the Monument event. So if that sounds useful, subscribe so you don't miss it. Feel free to drop a comment and tell me which one of these that you're doing, or if you agree or disagree with. I know I can't be the one who ignored the factory for a week. Anyways, Strawberry here. See you in the next one.